So this is, I guess, the first joint production between the Heroes Word and a podcast called Geek 3.0. I'm here with
Ashley
and
Fatima or Fatima.
What's the name you want to be called? Is really the question.
I don't know, man. I don't usually call myself.
Okay, that's true. But we're here and we're talking about, again, as you can see, some stuff here. And for those just hearing audio, Supergirl, Flash, and Arrow, which are kind of the hallmarks now of the CW kind of universe and the kind of new, I guess, wave of superhero TV that's kind of happened and kind of taken over a lot of our lives. Like overall, there's a lot of time devoted to a lot of this.
Yeah, maybe way too much time and attention, but hey, we're having fun, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For the most part.
Just for the most part, not entirely.
We'll get into it when we talk about the shows.
Okay, so I find one of the things is about I guess all those shows that kind of happened. The melodrama is high. Like there's a lot of melodrama.
Oh, yeah. Totally soapy.
Yeah,
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good way of putting it. It's just a soap opera with every now and again someone either shoots an arrow, flies, or just like I guess runs back in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a soap opera featuring superheroes. That's pretty much it. I think.
Well, that's a really good point. I think I find like that's actually a good thing. That's actually a really good thing why that happens. And why I say that is because again, it's like some of the best comics ever was I guess the John Byrne and Chris Claremont X-Men from the 80s, like early 80s. And that's the stuff where you get the Dark Phoenix saga, you get all this stuff where it's Scott and Jean, all that stuff you saw in the cartoon that you loved, that's where it all comes from. And that was literally just a soap opera.
So basically, superheroes are like soap operas.
Yeah.
For young boys.
Well, they weren't just for young boys at the time.
girls.
Everyone could read. Like, what are we talking here? Come on.
But you'd have to argue that like a lot of comics, especially like superhero comics, are geared towards like a young male audience.
Oh yes, no, entirely.
Right?
That is part of it. But I find they've been making strides to change that, which is nice.
Yeah.
And then atop that,
Let's talk about these strides to change it.
there are strides. Am I being looked upon?
I'm just fooling with you.
I know all the strides. I'm telling you, but I don't know. But the thing I find is I found with a lot of the CW shows, again, Supergirl's kind of new to the roster because they just moved it from CBS. So yeah, it was on CBS for some reason. But I find Supergirl's really fun, and I guess a lot of the characters work really well overall. I mean, okay, so you're not entirely caught up.
No.
Are you? Okay.
No.
But so we're talking about some stuff, and you may get a spoiler or two. Is that okay?
That's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Everyone's full warned. Full warned.
Yeah.
There will be spoilers, but are they spoilers that you really care about?
Nah,
Maybe
probably
not.
not.
But that's
Yeah.
just my opinion. So yeah.
You don't really care about that.
That's just my opinion, man, on what you're gonna care about in the show later
Yeah.
on. But I don't know. The thing I find is so one of the best things that happened so far this season, kind of in spoiler territory, is because Jimmy Olsen, he put on a suit of armor and he's running around, and much to my chagrin, I was telling you earlier, I would much prefer it if the Jimmy Olsen clones running around. But you know what? That sounds crazy, and that's just me. But the thing is, you have an episode where it's Jimmy Olsen and Supergirl fighting a monster, fighting Parasite, and that's kind of this fun moment.
Which episode? What was that called? That was
I forget the name of the episode, but it was episode
It was the episode with Parasite in
Yeah.
it. Have you watched that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So with that one in it, yeah, I was I know Parasite's supposed to suck out all their power or whatever, but I'm just how does Jimmy Olsen make a dent with this guy? Because at the end he's shown as someone who actually does help out, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just see, I understand that, but I'm
it's Jimmy Olsen doing Jimmy Olsen things.
yeah, I feel they just okay, let's put Guardian in, but when he's in, we're going to make it look as if he's actually contributing.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm so down on Jimmy Olsen. I hate the whole Guardian thing.
Well,
I just can't get into it.
I hate that suit so hard. It's not a great suit. But the thing is, though, at the same time, that's interesting is
Love the actor though.
yeah.
No hate.
While that Jimmy Olsen thing with that suit is going on, and him fighting Parasite, moments before, he had the whole coming out story with Alex and like the Supergirl sister.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you put. That's just a weird kind of dichotomy. Usually, usually be a kind of special episode of a TV show. Like, oh, the whole episode's about this, but no, it's like this can happen here, and then we have to go fight Rudy Jones, the Parasite, who's just sucked out a bunch of superpowers out of people, and that's kind of cool. That's kind of what comics. That's what comic books do, or you have like moments of drama coupled with crazy action. While that's not a thing that TV does often, right?
Have you noticed like the first season was? I really enjoyed the first season. I thought it was well paced.
Yeah.
I thought like all the characters had the spotlight on them equally.
Yeah.
And it was a good story. But second season, again, no hate, but like my complaint is it seems like they're trying to jam everything into one thing.
Oh yeah,
and
totally.
then they like let's say just this past episode, Medusa. You haven't caught up to Medusa yet. I'm gonna spoil it for you anyways. So
Hope you weren't planning on enjoying everything your own free time.
Well, I won't be now, so.
yeah, don't worry. You're gonna enjoy it anyways. It was pretty good, but like from let's say last episode there was like a bad thing happening where I'm gonna spoil it for you again. John Jones has white Martian blood because of the whole parasite thing.
Yeah.
He had to get like blood transfusion, and he got it from a white Martian. And what that would do would change him into a white Martian too, right? But then the next episode, right away, he got a cure for it. Like it was like boom, like they defeated Cadmus, and then they got they defeated Cadmus. That's
for shame, Cadmus. I'm telling you right now.
It was like so fast, right? And they got the cure for it from the Cadmus bomb. Like everything kind of just slotted into place. It was like fucking Tetris.
That just kind of worked out
And
well for him, really. If they really freaking did, it's just like one of those days where everything
worked out for them. Everything.
So it was like the perfect kind of ending.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that thing where I don't know. What Jimmy Olsen, what his real superpower usually is just luck. It's just good,
pure luck.
Yeah, his best friend Superman.
Yeah.
That's
He's
pretty
always
lucky.
in like the right place at the right time.
Get the right
camera.
photo. He's just Jimmy Olsen, just lucky.
And
Real
then
lucky.
of course like Superman will always like give him a heads up whenever like something goes on.
And he had like a signal watch.
Watch.
Love the signal watch.
Right?
It's the best. Just call
Talk
Superman.
about how like season 1 when he like clicked that fucking watch. Can I swear on this?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. When he clicked that like watch, I was like, oh my god, you fucking jackass, right? Like you can't even like just let her do her thing. You were just like, I must call Superman right now.
Well, that's
Right? She can't handle herself.
That's what he does.
Oh my god.
Like he calls Superman.
Yeah. But then this season, he's just like, no, I can do it. I can be Guardian.
Yeah, that was a little
I
weird.
can like it was such like a jump where
I'm not personally huge. Again, on like he was like, I'm gonna be a superhero now. It's like, listen, not everyone needs to be a superhero.
Yeah.
And
But that's what
yeah.
a lot of CW shows do now, right? Have you noticed? Like, confession, I don't watch Arrow. I sort of dislike him.
The entire cast, though, like superheroes.
Everyone has become.
Everyone becomes a superhero.
Everyone just like to throw down and become a superhero.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing now, guys?
Well, if Oliver can do it, so can I.
Actually, a friend of mine pointed out he has this thing where he's like, well, it seems that Oliver's like remedial at doing everything because it took him 5 years to figure out how to fire an arrow, and everyone did it in like
picked it up quickly.
at least like a year and a half, maybe 6 months.
Yeah.
Like he's just a moron who couldn't. He's like just tripping over his shoes. He's actually the worst of all.
Yeah, I know. I'm just not a fan. I'm sorry. I watched like season 1, episode 1, and then like the first like 5 minutes, I was like, yeah, I'm out. Sorry, guys.
There are some solid episodes, though.
I don't know. Actually, it's weird. Okay, so one of the things for me I find is like the first 2 seasons I liked a lot. I found the film kind of interesting enough. One of the things that's kind of interesting was that at the last episode of the first season and the last episode of the second season both had the titles of Bruce Springsteen songs. Yeah, it's
very random.
It's a very weird thing because the first season ends on like I think it's Darkness on the Edge of Town. I'm like, oh crap, that's crazy. I was like, oh, that's super cool. And that kind of like at that time that show was kind of more about him helping people try to like change how the world works. And then they got rid of that. He's just now kind of in it for himself. Really, he's just I don't know why he's being the Arrow anymore, really. But overall, it was really interesting at first, and then kind of just slowly. Yeah, overall, but I don't know, like one of the things I found about the one of the most recent that happened was that crossover between the four shows. What I liked
Invasion, right?
Yes, the Invasion, which was like I guess it was a crossover in the 80s. Like there's actually 3 issues of that, like 3 80-page issues. It's all right.
All right.
Like for 80s comics, yes, it's all right. But the thing is, in the show, what the crossover really did well was it gave like character motivations back to people. It kind of like was a kind of a weird mid everything reset. And so you're kind of like, oh, I see why that person's doing this now. I see why this person's here, and like
It was sort of like all the stories were very confused about what they were doing, and then finally this episode they're like, hey, let's clear it up and make it like very clear to all the characters what is motivating them. Right?
Yes.
Except for Supergirl, because like
she was barely there.
She like they did her wrong, man.
Well,
she was there for like freaking 10 minutes.
Well, the thing is, one thing is as well though, it's like, well, I guess they didn't know what to do or how to fit her in. They probably had this
she would have
planned.
kicked all their asses.
No, but that's kind of the.
She did kick all their asses.
Well, she is somewhat of a solution to things, but that's kind of, I think, the point of having a character like that there. Like, what good comics do, like, what comics have kind of figured out is, yes, you can have Superman and all those characters kind of, like, hanging around, but at the same time, though, they don't have to be the central focus of things. You can have them going on doing that other mission thing, because at one point, like, they're stranded in space, like, hey, just send her to space. And she can.
Well, in the CW universe, apparently she can't go to space. Remember? Season 1 Did you finish season 1? Oh my god, I can't even tell you. Anyway, she can't go into space. Yeah.
She sucks.
Yeah. She kind of sucks. I'm wondering about that. I'm just like.
She's the worst.
Can't like Superman go to space?
Oh, yeah,
or did he have like a spacesuit?
No,
too?
he just went to space.
There was like one comic where he like had to be in like a little spaceship, like do 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 do.
Listen. At one point, it was the best when Superman had he did have a rocket ship that he could fly around in, but the best part of it was it had 2 metal fists, so he could punch stuff. And
wasn't he in like a robot suit at one point too, like in space, because like he couldn't breathe in space.
At some point,
Wayne
but
gave it to him or something.
Well, usually
of course, Bruce Wayne gave it to him.
Yeah, but I find he just hangs out in space. But the thing is, that's funny is, that he literally had a punchy car in space, and you're looking at me like I'm crazy in terms of, like all the weirdness that happens. But yeah, this should all be very, very weird.
Nothing is impossible.
Exactly. That's the best part. That's the best part of these, and I think the balance is coming to the shows where like with I guess the whole thing about like I guess the aliens that showed up. Yeah, now we're hitting that point of things aren't impossible anymore.
Yeah.
This concept of we only have to deal with blank and that's it. It's like no, like we live in a post-Avengers world. Throw it all out there. It's fine.
Yeah.
Put people in costumes, make it ridiculous, and we're all gonna have a great time doing it. And that's kind of I think to me the best part of all this is like, well, yeah, maybe one day I will see a bunch of Jimmy Olsen clones.
You never know. You never know.
Or when Superman, like, had that, I guess, red kryptonite and had a lion head or an ant head. Yeah, like insect.
I don't know, man.
It was
got,
so
like,
fun.
really, really weird back in the days, man.
It was so fun. The best thing, it's like, well, we're getting to that point where, like, again, a lot of that stuff comes from comics running out of ideas and be like, we need to do something this month. This has to happen every month.
Oh, we'll just reboot it.
That's more of a modern thing, but like back in the day, it was just like, listen, we have to keep something has to happen this month, so we're gonna have to figure this out.
Lois Lane has a cat head.
Continued.
Yeah. To be continued.
But the thing is, so hopefully we may get that with TV shows where like we have to figure out something to do.
Yeah.
And that may just be like, you know what, guys, I had this idea where we introduce red kryptonite, and it just happens. Well, I know Supergirl, they have done red kryptonite.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you that red kryptonite episode was like one of my favorite episodes where she got like Melissa Benoist, just like the nicest actress ever, and to see her actually like be mean to someone is just. Did you watch the red kryptonite episode?
Yes, I've seen it. Yeah.
He's seen it. You haven't. Okay, you're gonna love it.
I'm so far behind.
Basically, the red kryptonite like loosens her inhibitions or something. Basically, she becomes just like asshole, right? And like when she's like, you know that part where she's like yelling at Alex,
Yeah.
and Alex is like, and she's trying not to cry. I'm like,
Really
oh
trying hard. It's tough.
Because like,
I
and then
watched
like Supergirl's like, oh, are you going to cry? Right? I was like, oh, that's so mean. She is going to cry. Stop.
Stop. She's going to actually cry.
She is going to
really
cry.
is going to cry. And then like when she finally got out of that like red kryptonite haze and like, but she was like devastated that she did that because she remembered every part of it. And like she woke up, she was like, did I kill anyone? I'm like, holy shit.
Just our friendship.
Well, we're no longer sisters, so you know.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
dead to me. But that's the thing I find, like, I mean, like, there's a whole slew, like, there's like 10 kryptonites that do different things. Yeah, like, it's...
in the show?
Not in the
Or
show,
like,
just in
the
general.
comics, yeah.
So they can
But,
just,
like,
like,
okay.
we can just hit up with anything, it's fine.
If
Just-
you're talking about Supergirl, you gotta talk about Smallville too, where they had like all these kryptonites come out. Did you watch Smallville?
I
back in
did
the
watch a bit
days?
of Smallville.
Oh,
They had
well,
so
okay.
many
We're gonna take a second here because, like, overall, if you really break it down, the reason that all this is happening, we get all these shows, is because of Smallville.
Yeah.
Like Smallville, as like, you know.
Are we gonna include Birds of Prey?
Let's not. Let's not.
Yeah,
Come
I'm
on,
not
guys. Okay, I didn't even watch it either. I enjoyed the idea of it.
Are you just
This was
gaslighting the both of us?
This
What's happening with this?
Back in the days when like it wasn't like I couldn't watch it online.
No, yeah,
you
you
had
can-
to
yeah.
catch it on TV, and unfortunately, what was I doing? Oh, I was in school,
Yeah.
not working.
That's fine.
Let's just say
drinking
Birds
myself
of Prey was like CW now times 100.
Yeah.
Like it was like the notch was turned up.
Well, take all the worst parts of CW stuff,
Yeah.
and then just put all of that in a show.
It was so bad.
Oh my god.
Well, I don't know, for a while, it was like this weird thing that used to happen with, like, this comic book TV where it was this moment of everyone got crumbs. Where it was like this thing of like, okay, yeah, like, it's kind of like that, and we're kind of going to use those characters, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, no nerds care. It's fine.
Oh,
Just
let's
do
talk
whatever.
about like kind of characters. The CW show, the show that's like off in their own universe and will never cross these universes. Thank God.
What?
Gotham.
Oh my god, thank God. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry. They're like the characters that we know, but they're not really the characters that we know. And
Nah, it's just Gotham's just like hands down the worst.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
I'm sure
Very
there's some
loosely
people
based.
out there that love it, but like I'm sorry,
Well, they're
guys,
wrong.
it's not.
It's fine, but they're wrong.
As soon as it
Okay.
came out and they're like Pamela Isley is no
Yeah.
longer Pamela Isley, it's something else. I don't remember what.
It's a
And
very-
she's
yeah.
like a child, and then I was like, no, we out. We're done.
We're done.
We're not doing this. I'm out.
Hey,
Right.
I'm gonna look right into this camera and say one thing. Where's your mustache, Ben McKenzie? What's up? How do you have Christopher without a mustache? Like, what's happened? He's known for his robust mustache.
Yeah.
No,
He's not there
Just-
yet. He's not. Yeah.
I don't.
It does not
see,
take 3
I don't
years to
even
grow a
know about it
mustache.
because I didn't even watch it.
I'm just saying, it did not take 3 years to grow a mustache. But overall, the problem with Gotham is, it doesn't want to do anything with with the source material. It just wants to be the most generic version
Yeah.
of everything. It's like, oh hey, this character's here. You can see that guy.
I was really hoping for something like Gotham Central.
Oh yeah, my God,
Like
Gotham
really
Central.
hoping when I heard that show was being made and they were like it's gonna focus on the police and Jim Gordon is gonna be in it. I'm just like, okay, maybe they're gonna put like a lot of Gotham Central stories into it because
Yeah.
oh my God, comics so good.
No, yeah.
And you can get it here as well.
Thank you. The thing is, overall, the thing about Gotham Central, and I think what comics were doing at the time, and still kind of are, is they're moving towards bridging realism with comics,
Yeah.
and kind of just the ridiculous nature of how this stuff works. While shows like Gotham are just like, I don't know, we're just gonna try everything and it's fine.
Just going to feature some people.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the writers, again, no offense to the writers, maybe you guys do know comics or whatever, but they don't care.
I don't think they do.
Like they're like, okay, let's take this and oh, did you hear the thing about the invasion? Hey, let's make like a whole story arc about it. I feel like we can do that.
Yeah, I don't need to see the Joker or anything. I don't need to see any of this stuff. None of this makes any sense to me.
It's sort of like the
Nor
guy
do I care.
who made what's it called, Dragon Ball.
We have the Dragon Ball movie.
And he like
Oh,
came out and
no.
was like, well, I just made it to make a buck, and I realized that was my bad.
What do you want from me? Well, the other thing too is like, listen, like don't bother. Like it's
Yeah.
fine. Like everyone, like I don't know. For me now, like what has happened is, I find I have the same response, but for two different reasons for anything like comic book movie related, which is if I enjoyed it, I want to read comic books so it can kind of remind me of why I enjoyed this.
Yeah.
If I didn't enjoy it, I read comic books to forget that bad stuff and just enjoy this kind of new comic, all this new comic
Go
stuff.
back to
Yeah,
the comics.
it's always
But yeah.
always there.
Back to the CW shows. That's why I watch Supergirl now. Like,
Well, overall, what's really interesting is Supergirl. It's a Superman show.
yeah.
All the Superman characters are there, and like she has her own Jimmy Olsen. She
Like Jimmy Olsen
Well-
came along and okay.
Oh no!
Didn't we talk about this last time?
No, what I mean is like I don't mean like but Jimmy Olsen like proper, but like when that's her Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah.
That's her dude. That's her dude who's like
Yes. When is
just
her
he's just
Jimmy
there,
Olsen.
and like she Snapper Carr showed up. That's her Perry White. She has her
Can
own
we talk about the
world.
ridiculousness of how Snapper Carr is there at a fashion magazine being a newspaper man? Have
Listen,
you realized this? Like, I'm like,
times is tough. He didn't want to have his blog.
yeah, I'm just like, you're at a fashion magazine and you are doing news, and I'm like hard-hitting news. You're like, hey, Kara, go check out the pelicans at the city dump. Why
Yeah.
are they dying? And I'm just like, why are you printing this in a fashion magazine? Right? You should be talking about the Kardashians. Right? Go.
Wants to really diversify his resume.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe.
Oh,
Listen,
Jesus.
it's crazy. Linda Carter's president. Like, there's a bunch of aliens
that's-
running around.
that's
There's a
beautiful.
bunch of stuff that they're
Linda
going to have to
Carter.
deal with in this world. And you need a man like Snapper Carr at the helm.
I'm gonna have to say I really like Snapper Carr though.
No, he's good,
That's
yeah.
like one of the new additions that I like. I am like I guess out of the three of us, I will be the Debbie Downer, right? Because like I really
What are you Debbie Downing?
the realism,
The realism.
hard-hitting truth, right?
True.
But like I think I told you guys last time, I really didn't enjoy Jimmy Olsen in Supergirl at all. Like when I heard that he was gonna be in, I was just like, that's too much of Superman shadow. I know you're doing like you're pulling all the Superman stuff, even like
Yes.
the girl who has everything, right? That was like a Superman.
Yeah,
thing
that's
too,
directly a
Smallville
Superman
thing,
story.
right? And like I know you're pulling all this crap, but like, do we have to go so over as to bring Jimmy Olsen over and be like, hey, Jimmy Olsen, Superman's best friend,
Well,
right here.
the thing is-
What we call Superman, my
Quit-
best buddy.
Like she almost like that hurts my ears. Would you not just hit that watch over and over again? But the thing is, I find is it's like, well, a lot of stuff with even having Jimmy Olsen there. I don't mind him there in the capacity of like, hey, I can kind of help guide you on certain things because I'm there. We're best friends, me and that Clark Kent guy. That's fine. Did I just give away Superman's secret identity? I'm sorry. I just gave it away. But the thing is, I'm fine with that. But the problem is, when he has to like just inject himself, and when it's like, man, like you don't have superpowers, and we want to just go home. We want to just go home.
I'm very offended that he could actually walk into the DO at any time. At any time.
That
This is
actually
like
happened?
Yeah, this is
What?
Well-
season 1 it happens, season 2 it happens. He just walks in, he's like, I'm Jimmy Olsen. Right?
He walks in like Kramer struts into Jerry's apartment. It's literally just like, hey,
I'm like,
milk?
how come like there's nobody
There's no security measures?
there's no
Nothing?
security measures, nobody going, hey, what the hell is the press doing here at the secret government
Yeah.
facility? Right? And he has like I
Does he have his
understand
camera?
No, I think
Right?
he just keeps it around his neck.
He's just like
It's in his bow tie,
yeah.
which he doesn't wear a bow tie either. Shame on you, TV Jimmy Olsen. Wear a bow tie.
It's problematic.
But overall, I find like again, out of all three shows, Supergirl it's the newest kid on the block in terms of like how it's kind of doing stuff, and I find a lot of people do have like this problem with it where they're like, oh, it's not like this, it's not like this, and like that's fine. It doesn't have to be anything. It has to
Supergirl
just
is
be.
still my favorite child. If I had all these children as like the Flash, the Arrow, like these
Supergirl.
shows, Supergirl, I'd tell the other one like, sorry
Oh, wow.
kids, this is my favorite
Okay.
child.
So you're Sophie from Sophie's Choice, and you've just made that hard decision.
Made that hard decision.
All right.
It wasn't even that hard though.
No,
It was quite hard. I didn't even.
you created the decision to make right in
I heard
front of
about
the
the
children
other
too.
three, and I was
no.
like, oh, who
I
are
like
these
that it's
three?
not so angsty though.
Yeah.
Like that's what I really enjoy about it.
that brings us
Yeah,
back
that's
to
yeah.
Superman versus Batman, where I'm just like,
No.
I didn't enjoy Superman at
No.
all. Man of Steel Superman, not at all, because
None of that works now.
he's just, he's not
brooding all the time.
Superman.
Just, yeah.
Everyone's super broody.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the thing is, like, well, that's why these shows work, because, like, you know, there's a lightheartedness to it.
Yeah.
And there's a moment of, like, yeah, let's have fun.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, in the first time, I guess, the Flash shows up in Supergirl, and it's like, hey, I brought everyone ice cream. And you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I want ice cream.
Like the Flash episode
Super
was
speed
great,
ice
right?
cream?
Yeah, because they're both like golden retrievers. Like they're just
Yeah,
like,
it's like
they're
golden
just like
They're
that.
I
both
think
very lovely
the
people.
fan art that I found
Yeah.
online, I think like Comic Girl does it, and there was one where she's like Supergirl is like reimagined as a golden retriever, right? And the Flash is some kind of like brown pointer or something, right? And then Hank Henshaw, John Jones
Yeah.
is a Bernese Mountain
Aw.
Dog. And Alex is an otter, like a super angry otter in like a tactical vest. I'm like, this is fucking
Yeah, but
hilarious.
that's what's kind of fun about it. It's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I don't have to. My heroes don't have to be angry all the time. And like, okay, I know in Flash right now there is some stuff going on where like it is a little bit more of a downer. But at the same time, though, overall, you always have these moments of at some point someone's gonna smile
Yeah.
and they're gonna work together, and you're gonna be like, yeah, this is what superheroes do. This
Yeah.
is why everyone likes superheroes, because
You know, I'm trying to stop myself from like pounding on this desk and going,
yeah,
yes,
I totally,
Yes.
I'm very much appreciative.
Yeah.
Very much appreciative of that. But that's why this all works.
But it's like the reason why I like Supergirl being all sunny and everything, and I know some people don't like it. They're like, oh, she's so freaking annoying, right? She's so like happy all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is wrong with you people? There's so much like darkness in shows right now, and season two of Supergirl is getting a little bit dark, but like that S on her chest, which is not an S, whatever, right? is about hope,
Makes you feel good.
right? It's about feeling good.
Yeah. Well,
When I see that, it's like,
yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I totally agree and understand that, because that's always the thing. It's like, well, yeah, to be continued. I want to see why this is so like good, and like I know one of the things the writer Grant Morrison always said about like Superman. He's like, well, to him, Superman be the most calm guy in the world because nothing can hurt him. So he wouldn't be walking around all uptight and like just posing all the time. He'd just be like, hey, what's going on, man? Because what's like what do you
Super chill.
have to worry about?
yeah.
Maybe kryptonite.
That's
Yeah,
about it. Yeah.
Lex
yeah.
Luthor. Right? Like,
But in Supergirl, that's kind of awesome because like Lex Luthor's in jail. Lena Luthor, kind of awesome.
oh my god, Lena
Like,
Luthor.
she's the best.
Can we tell you? Oh my god, biggest fan.
Because like essentially like she shows up and has like she's taken over the company. They I guess LexCorp rebranded it, trying to be like, hey, we're good for people now. We're like up with people. That's their kind of goal.
She's really trying to be like, I'm gonna move away from the whole killing everybody thing.
Yeah.
Gonna go towards like.
But
making
at the same
a
time, so
better
she's
name.
trying. So a couple times you have this thing happening where there's moments where it seems like she's not on the up and up, and then she totally is, and you're like, even better.
Is this Linda Carter?
No, not Linda Carter.
Oh, that's
this is Katie
Madam
McGrath.
President.
Yeah, you're missing out. You
I'm
gotta
missing
catch
out.
up.
I need to
to
catch up.
Season
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like get like 4 TVs and watch them all at once. Like,
What's the most recent episode you're on?
Can't remember. This is yesterday. My brain is melting. Wow. She was human for a day. That's the episode. Human for a day.
Oh, okay.
I'm like so far behind.
oh yeah, the Red Tornado.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
The Red Tornado is the worst.
what was this like? Why?
What? Why is Red Tornado the worst? I don't know. It's just like it did not like that design. I was just like, it's really dumb looking. This looks
You were not
horrible.
impressed.
No, I was wholly not impressed, and I generally kind of like the Red Tornado.
I don't quite remember the Red Tornado, so when I saw it, I was like, oh, I'm super impressed. Like I was
Nah,
like,
he
"You're
looks
trying."
real dumb. Like, I prefer if they put the Metal Men in. That'd be way more fun.
The metal. See, like I'm missing out on that one. Too.
Yeah, listen,
I'm like forgotten a lot of.
what I want from all these shows is just to go real deep and just take all the weird, stupid characters who really don't have a place in a movie, right? Like
Yeah.
the place, like 'cause that's the thing about these shows
Talking
too.
about things that don't have a place in movies, as I go into
Yeah.
other things I want to complain about.
Yep.
Friggin' the Arrow. Who the hell is Mad Dog?
Mad
What?
Wild Dog.
Wild Dog.
Wild Dog.
Wild Dog.
Wild Dog is he's a DC character.
Have you watched up to that point?
No,
See, I haven't.
I'm
It's
like,
only in the
few seasons
crossover,
back.
right?
No, but he does show up as a character. Like, show you here.
Oh yeah, there he is.
That's literally what his character looks
That's
like.
what he
He's
looks like.
Actually,
yes.
Yeah, because like
Actually, like actually.
apparently,
Actually?
again, I don't watch the show, but like I will spoil the
Yeah,
shit
he
out of
shows
myself
up.
with summaries and stuff. And this guy just goes around with a gun and shoots people, right?
See, that's always the weird thing about Arrow. I find that kind of is bizarre to me. He's like, I don't kill anymore. You're like, great.
But everybody else.
But
does.
everyone else on Team Arrow they're way busy, just like plugging guys full of holes and bullets.
Yeah, they're like, I don't kill, but this guy does. And then like he's like, I'm out.
Like Dig shoots people.
does he actually?
He's a gun. What else do you give him? They give him a gun that shoots arrows.
Yeah, I don't understand any of that. I'll stick with Supergirl, where the world is not
overly complicated.
not overly complicated. I'm hoping that they continue with the let's not complicate things
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
path, right?
Yeah.
It's very at this point we're on the they're taking a break right now, right? And then they come back January 16th.
Yes.
But I'm really hoping that they try to uncomplicate things and they don't. It's like a lot of plot and not a lot of character development. Like we have Mon-El. What does Mon-El do? Who the fuck cares?
You know, listen. You understand something is like those Daxamites or whatever.
Yeah.
Lead is like super deadly to them. Like worse than kryptonite.
I was like, when he got. I'm sorry, I hate Mon-El. I hate a lot of people. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Like, what was?
When they shot him.
You sure you like watching the show?
I love the show so
Okay.
much.
Just
Right?
checking.
When they shot him, I was like, oh, he's gonna die because lead is poisonous. It's fatal, right?
Yeah, like-
But then they took it out and he was okay. I was like,
Well, last
fuck.
time, because I remember last time I saw Mon-El.
Sorry.
He survived.
Yeah, last time I saw Mon-El get like just like hit with like lead. Actually, no, the whole thing was in the Superman comic. Like he had a box. He had a lead box with kryptonite in it. Be like, okay, let's keep this, and literally like they open the box. He opens the box like he's like, oh, kryptonite doesn't affect me. And then he's like, lead! And then just like, he's like, oh, I'm dying. And they had to throw him in the Phantom Zone. And he just like lived in
It's
the
like
Phantom Zone.
completely deadly. Like kryptonite, if I give it to Superman, so, oh, I'm wilting.
Thank you for handing it to me, thinking I'm Superman. Much appreciated.
There you go. If you take it away,
Yeah.
then Superman's like, oh,
It's getting better now. That's great. But no, but lead, it's like, it just kills.
Yeah, lead.
It's like a peanut allergy, like a really severe peanut allergy.
Peanut allergy.
Or like, actually, no,
You
it's like
can't
if
come
you're,
back from that.
it's like if you're allergic to both shellfish and peanuts, and someone made like some sort of like lobster
Peanut.
lobster stuff with lobster
Yeah,
stuff with
peanut
peanuts.
seafood
Yeah.
dish for you, right? And then you're like, well, none of this is helping me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no coming back from this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
so
it's
he
just
had
doomed.
to shoot him into the Phantom Zone and was like, we'll figure out a cure. But,
More Phantom Zone.
oh, jeez.
Can we just shoot Jimmy Olsen to the Phantom Zone?
Where's
Nah.
that spin-off?
Yeah, just all in the Phantom Zone. That'd be great. Okay.
I was hoping he would go away somewhere. Like, when second season started, I was just like, oh, I like him, McCad, but, like, I wish Jimmy Olsen would go away.
That was pretty. That's pretty good. Again, that's kind of like a nice kind of like generic talk about all these shows. But what we're gonna do now is kind of go to a segment about kind of what we're reading, what's going on. So
What are we reading?
what are you reading? What are you absorbing? Watching other than CW shows, like reading, listening to, whatever. So I guess I'll start. What I'm planning on reading is I do, again, like thinking about all this, I am going to go back and read my my Jack Kirby Fourth World omnibuses where all this stuff happens with Jimmy Olsen and the Forever People. And now it's just a lot of Jimmy Olsen talk tonight, I'm sorry. But the thing is, like all this weirdness that happens and like it gets very bizarre with like, the New Gods and all this stuff. And it's a very weird time in comics and I just really enjoy it. And like, you know what? Kind of feeling it again. It's back. You know what? To be continued. That's what's up.
Continued.
Yeah. Actually, what are you reading now? Louise?
I'm reading Prez actually from.
Oh yeah. How are you enjoying it?
It was actually really funny. I was like, this is too true to real life right now, but it's like
Yeah,
it's kind of helping me heal.
Yeah, it's really
Same
tough.
time, yeah.
It's real tough.
Yeah, but it's good so far.
Okay, yeah.
I'm pacing myself because I know I will rush through everything.
And okay, just so you know as well, that's the only volume of press. There's no more press after that.
Oh, no.
It's just one volume.
Okay.
I asked the writer on Facebook, I'm like, hey man, where's there more press coming? And he's like, nope. I'm like,
That's it then.
Just like
Okay.
yeah.
he's just like no.
yeah.
No. Straight up.
No, he
no.
literally messaged me, nope.
Yeah. It didn't beat around the bush, which was like, nope, dude,
It's real tight.
we
real
out.
tight.
Right?
Do you know what you're reading? Or watching or listening to?
I'm trying to do the Wonder Woman Rebirth, just because like
Okay.
the Wonder Woman movie's coming out, so I'm just like, I'm gonna get into like the whole, just gonna psych myself up for it, and be disappointed afterwards.
Oh, jeez.
I'm just joking.
It looks incredible,
I love
though.
Wonder Woman.
really
it was
good.
pretty good.
Yeah, and love Gal Gadot. Get it?
I think Gadot?
Gadot?
I don't know.
I'm sorry. I love the gal.
None of us can
Gal.
pronounce your name. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Lady
sorry.
who's Wonder Woman,
It's
who
not
looks
like you're
super
gonna
awesome.
watch this anyways. I
Yeah.
mean, yes, you are. I love you.
But nevertheless,
Also, sorry.
that's fine.
Also, this wasn't like
One
a
in the
table
bag.
slapping thing. The new Superman.
Mm.
That's funny, just because like the whole Superman, not Superman, made in China Superman, right? Hilarious.
Oh, you're talking about all new Superman. Okay.
All new Superman. And what else?
Or new
And-
Superman. All new is a Marvel thing. Never mind.
Yeah. And what else? I had like a whole bunch that I was reading, but like those are the two that really come to mind at the moment.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
And
to
I'm
start for now.
rereading Gotham Central.
Okay, yeah, that's always a good place to start. Actually, what I'll probably read as well is the book called Multiversity, to where actually it's interesting because in the Supergirl crossover they tell you what Earth she's on, which is Earth 38,
Oh.
and
Oh yeah, which Earth is it? The weird.
well, in the book Multiversity, Earth 38 is the place. It gives you a whole list of all the Earths. Earth 38 is a place where essentially Superman and Batman aged normally, and life started in the 30s, and they kind of aged since then. And Supergirl, their kind of like lineage kind of just happens. So she's from that Earth.
Supergirl is like the daughter of Superman.
Yeah.
Right? Like.
Well, I think that's technically that Earth. And see, that's the problem now. You have all these nerds with a book that like, gives you all the information. And,
They're like, the CW is wrong, right? And we're
They
like,
are
we
wrong.
all know they are wrong.
yeah.
They're not even
There's
trying to be
literally,
right.
literally in that book, Multiversity, they tell you all 52 Earths. They literally let you know everything.
Oh.
So,
Communist Earth is great.
that's like Earth 33?
Yeah. Communist Superman, communist
Yeah.
Batman, communist Wonder Woman.
It's Superman.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Like, we'll have to talk about that at some point
Yeah.
because it's really
Yeah.
awesome. Okay. All right. So we've been talking for 40 minutes. This is great. See, really turned out pretty easy, right? All fun. So I guess as the first kind of joint production between Heroes Word and Geek 3.0, this is Justin.
Fatima.
And Ashley.
Yeah, we're gonna signing off and have a good night. Peace.